she made a post early this year, 2025, about already starting the year with the job of about 4 figures or so, and then she got a lot of comments, questions, people asking her, okay, how to go about getting the 3 jobs and all.
You're a newbie in the Web3 space looking for a job. What you should do at first is to show yourself, or if there is a shop rather in a market, in a main market, and if there is a shop in a street, and even if both shops are, selling the same goods, the shop that will get more customers is the one that is currently in the market, because it has access to people, to more people than those in the street. Now, what am I trying to say? This is a game of numbers, and
All right, welcome to another episode of Web3 Call of, where we are simplifying Web3 for newbies, and also connecting you to life-changing opportunities, answering different questions for newbies. All those newbies, people who are in the Web3 space, but they find some things very confusing. On this podcast we bring guests to answer different questions, and today is a good day because I'll say finally, because I've been trying to have this call for quite a long time now, and thank God that I've been able to finally do it today. I have with me today Toria, who is a Web3 growth and marketing expert. She also has an agency and she runs called Toria X. And before I ask her to okay, first of all, let me give her the opportunity to introduce herself, and then we start the podcast one. So please kindly introduce yourself. Thank you.
all right. Thank you for having me here. Okay, so my name is Toria Dixon. I am a growth and marketing specialist in the Web3 space with over 5 years of experience in digital marketing. I have an agency, Toria X. It's a full Web3 marketing agency. Yeah, I think that's it for me.
All right. Okay. I would like to put it out there real quick that Toria is one of the busiest person I've ever come across, because to actually have her come on this podcast, it was I'll just keep thanking God here for the opportunity here. So we'll be discussing about jobs, or 3 jobs, and I'm answering different questions. So she made a post early this year, 2025, about already starting the year with the job of about 4 figures or so, and then she got a lot of comments, questions, people asking her, okay, how to go about getting the 3 jobs and all. But I would like to find out from Toria, how well, that before we start asking different questions, how do you do it? Like, how is your schedule? How are you doing all those things? Because I'm trying to understand the scope of how your day goes, the way how busy you are, and do you actually have time to do other things? Like, okay, first of all, let's start with your your day. How do you like go about things? How have you organized things? Okay, that's this time, so time you're going to finish working, and then you're going to eat a so time, probably reply people. Well, yes, I just feel like I would like to know how you've been able to do that.
Okay, all right. A day in my life goes like this. I wake up by I don't have a fixed time I wake up, right? So because most times I sleep late, right? Like last night or this morning rather, I slept by 4 a.m. So I woke up by 7 a.m. this morning. Okay. Then most times I go to the gym and I spend 1 hour at the gym. Then coming back, I get started on walking. I start my work from 9 a.m. and I work for roughly 8 to 12 hours every day. And in between, I have rest, breaks, where I, pick up my phone, reply messages, and I mean, eat, obviously. I rarely sleep in the afternoon, that rest in the afternoon, because there's no even time to do that. And I think that is some of it.
Well, that is quite a No, I'll say organized this. So because in also getting out to reply one message, so it's quite a lot. But so yeah, how did get started in Web3 and what's just about three questions in one, right? When you started, how you got started, and what's also inspired you to pursue a career in this space. Yeah, let me start with that.
Okay, when I started, I was an affiliate marketer before I joined the Web3 space. I don't know if you're familiar with Expert Naira. That was the affiliate marketing platform I was working with, and one of the digital. Yeah. So I was an affiliate marketer, for like 2 years. Then in January of 2023, that was when I decided to drop affiliate marketing, drop every other thing and on the Web3. I've been hearing about it for a while from my friends. So that day I decided, okay, this is it. I want to go into Web3. So that is when I started. Now, what inspired me to, is it to start or to this career path? Which of them?
Yeah, to pursue a career in the space.
Okay. So I will start with how I got started, then we'll get to what inspired me. Okay. So how I got started was event trading. Okay. So the person who onboarded me into the Web3 space, his name is Dr. Five Guy on X. He was is not was he is a digital trader, right? And that was what I got interested in at first, digital trading. And I think my second one I bought, I it did about I can't remember how many X right now, but I know I put in $50 and I got about $1,500 or thereabout. That was like the second coin I got. Then I knew nothing about digital trading. I don't know what. That was like the very first time I was buying a coin on Pancake Swap. So I wasn't really invested in what digital trading is. I don't understand how it works. I just saw somebody sharing it on the timeline and I decided to buy it. I remember I had to go to YouTube to watch how to buy a coin on Pancake Swap. It was on the BNB chain. So I don't understand what volume was, market cap, and I bought the coin and I made that amount. And I was like, okay, I think there is money here. And I was like, this is it. This is it for me. I'm doing Web3. I am going to focus, and all of those things. So I was, involved with digital trading. I tried to learn. I lost money, right? I lost money trying to learn digital trading because I was teaching myself, right, how to trade and all. But then I realized that there was something called Web3 jobs. And before joining this space, remember I said I was an affiliate marketer. So before joining this space, I had the skills of copywriting, writing. I started that in 2020 during the lockdown period. That was when I learned copywriting, digital marketing, content writing, and all of those things. So I was like, okay, there's Web2 jobs. Okay, let's add writing to this trading thing. So I started writing on my X account. I started putting my content, and people started noticing me. I remember I grew that account from like, was it 100 followers? And currently I'm at 5.9K followers, right? So I was just putting my content on X about writing. People were noticing me and they're like, oh, this girl is good, that kind of thing. And that was how I got into Web3 jobs. At the point, projects reached out to me. Sometimes I reach out to projects, to secure these jobs. So that was how I got started. And yeah.
All right. Well, very very inspiring story there. So, because I know quite a number of people that they'll start with the gen and just after probably losing one or two things from the gen chain, they'll give up straight up on Web3. Like, is this what is there? Like losing when some people don't like losing actually, so they don't believe in pursuing other. But once they've seen something and then they probably lose one or two things there, they would lost hope totally in that space. So I know quite a number of people who have lost hope in Web3, but yeah, the journey has been, and the way you just explain it to us right now is it's quite inspiring. So before I start asking questions she got from on her page, the questions when she posted, because I'm going to we'll be answering some questions that some people asked her, commented. Most people commented on the post and asked different questions. I have about 8 to 9 of them. I would ask, I'd like to know. Um, you talked about the transition you had. Most people find it quite difficult, or will I say they really do not believe that they can switch from Web 2 to Web 3, like switch, those are the switching career, or there's a career path to chase in Web 3. So um, two things. Yeah, the what do you think is what do you think? How do I put this now? Okay. Can someone actually, transition from from whichever career path they're choosing for Web 2 or whatever it is, and then actually have a a, a career in Web 3, and then the skills that you feel are currently most in demand in the space right now. Did you get my question?
Yes, I got a question. Okay, for the first question, I believe anybody can transition from Web2, whatever career they are, invested in the Web2 space, into the Web3 space. Because Web3 is broad, right? It involves different categories. You can bring in so many categories of jobs or careers into the Web3 space. So you can do that. Okay. And for the second question, I can't really say what skill is currently in high demand. Um, there are a couple of them. We don't just have one. So we have marketing. Marketing is a skill that is in high demand in the Web3 space. There is writing, there is design, video editing, developer. I think that's it from the top of my head. But I believe there are more skills that are in high demand in Web3 space. I think also like data analysts too should fall under this category. Yeah.
All right. I will go with marketing since that's your expertise. That's where you have expertise in. So now, as a marketer, right? Probably a newbie watching, listening to this podcast, and watching. What's Look? Let's start this way. A marketer who is probably a newbie, how they in getting a job. Okay, I would like you to first of all put this in this way. Look, you're not put it in this way. Um, you are going to um, just give like a talk. When I say talk, just like um, you are a newbie now. Just take yourself as a newbie, and then who is like trying to get a job from probably company X. So how do you put yourself out there? How do you or probably let's say you're already in an interview. What are the things you would say to win? Because you're a newbie, you don't really, but you know what you're doing. You know that you have the skill. But how are you going to like the things you're going to say to make the company okay? This is the right person for the role.
Okay, when saying newbie, you mean you have no experience, you
Yes,
have no portfolio.
yes. Let's use that context.
Okay. Now, this question is one of the questions I get like every day from a number of persons. And one thing I always tell them is, okay, if you're a newbie in the Web3 space looking for a job or wanting people to employ you, what you should do at first is to show yourself. Because I always use this analogy. If there is a market, or if there is a shop rather in a market, in a main market, and if there is a shop in a street, and even if the both shops are, selling the same goods, the shop that will get more customers is the one that is currently in the market because it has access to people, to more people than those in the street. Now, what am I trying to say? This is a game of numbers and attention. You need to show yourself. You need to show that you are existing. That is the first thing. As a newbie, if you want to get or if you want people to know what you do, and if you are good at it and you don't have any experience prior to that moment, you need to show yourself. Now, what do I mean? Show yourself being shouting, talking, on social media, right? This is the social media era. So everything is happening on social media. You don't just post on your WhatsApp status and say, okay, I'm a marketer. And it is just your contact that will know that, okay, this person is a marketer. But coming out to post on Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, whatever social media platform you want to, is how you show yourself. And you don't just post anything, right? Because you have a target in mind. You have the target to get jobs, to tell people that you are a good marketer in this case. So you want to put out content that will brand you as an authority as a marketer, even with no proof of work at the moment. So you can start talking about how you can market a project. You can create an imaginary project in your head, and you can break down how to market the project from this acquisition stage to the clients, even sometimes, okay, for instance, now we have different protocols in the Web3 space. Some of them are they have different needs, right? Some of them want more website visitors. Some of them want more app downloads, and all of those things. I'm talking as regarding marketing for now, right? So you want to talk about, okay, this is what you will do for you to get more website visitors. This is what you will do for you to get more app downloads. This is you showing that you are good at what you do. And if you are really good at what you do, people start noticing you, right? Projects can even reach out to you. It may not happen immediately, but with consistency, right, it is going to definitely happen. Like it happened to me, so I'm talking from experience. I had no experience whatsoever in the Web3 space. I knew nobody, but me posting myself on Twitter, I focused on Twitter, right? Because I mean, bulk of the Web3 folks are on Twitter, right? So me posting on Twitter, talking about what I do, how good I am, attracted people to me. It made people know that okay, this person is actually good at this aspect. It will make you always be in their mind. Maybe whenever they even have a recommendation, they'll just think about you and be like, oh, okay, this person, let me go and meet her. It's true. That kind of thing. That's what I would advise any newbie to do. Okay, that's it. I don't know if I answered the question.
Yeah. You actually did answer the question. So I'm going to take. We don't have much more time to spend on Zoom here. So we're going to just take only one question. I have here from at underscore second soon. He said, "What's your strategy? Okay, what's your client acquisition process like, and what are the criteria you use to filter out projects you want to work with among thousands of projects?"
Okay, so yeah, I get you. So first of all, I'll answer the second question: how to filter out projects you want to work with. First of all, sit down and decide between yourself, what do I really want to do? What type of project do I want to work for? Okay, so you want to tell yourself, okay, I want to work for only a centralized exchange, right? So I want to work with them as their marketer, marketing lead, or social media manager, or whatever you want to work with them at. You need to decide first of all within yourself. I cannot decide what you want to do. You know what you're good at. You know your strength. Sometimes, I mean, marketing have different branches. You can decide to focus on SEO marketing if you are good with SEO. You can decide to focus on email marketing. You can decide to focus on social media management. On paid advertising, on influencer marketing. Just pick out what you are very good at. Do you understand? So that you'll be able to deliver whenever a job is given to you. I don't want to do what you cannot do. That is the thing. Okay, so picking what you are good at, right? Maybe you can list out two or three things you're good at so that you know that this is what I want to do for your project and the type of project you want to work for. You have to decide it too. Okay, and I don't work for main projects. I don't. When I talk about main projects, I'm talking about you know, you get what I mean. Main project. I work for utility projects, solid projects. So if I am going through a project, for instance, let's say somebody recommends me for a job, I'll first of all go through the project to determine if I would want to work with them. I'll check their tech. Do I like their product? Because you cannot work with what you don't like. Also, you get. So I'll ask myself, do I like their products? Okay, it's a bridge. Okay, I love the way they are portrayed. I think I would work well with this project. It's about your preference, right? I don't work for main projects. You can work for main projects. I just don't because main projects they are short lived in quotes. I want to work for something that will give me security. I don't know if you get so I will not just say one day and tomorrow they are deleting their community, deleting their Twitter, and I'll just be left stranded. So you want to check if it's a main project or it's a utility project. Even if it is going to be a main project, it should be a solid main project. Like okay, do you understand? So I'll have to, check all these things, check their reputation, okay, check their mission, values, read their white paper, go to their website. This will just help me determine if I really want to work with them. Okay, then the next thing, the other question you asked, what is my client acquisition process like? The first thing I need to do is to decide what type of project I want to work with. Okay, so because I am the one reaching out to them first, I can do my due diligence. So the first thing I want to do is to ensure that whatever project I want to even reach out to in the first place actually needs my services. Because I don't want to go pitching for a role when they already have the role. I don't know if you get. So the first thing I want to do is to ensure that this project actually needs my service. So in this case, marketing. I can decide to go through let's say they have a Medium account and the article is not SEO optimized. I can decide to come in as the SEO writer for that project. And my pitching is not going to be, oh, I want to write content for your Medium or something. I will tailor it to SEO, right? So I want to tailor it to SEO, whereby I'll tell them, I want to help your content rank on Medium and even on Google, not just Medium now. So that's first thing, deciding or trying to find out if they actually need your service, then finding out which of your services they need. Like I said, marketing have different aspects. You don't want to just pitch blindly. Now, I handle social media accounts for a couple of accounts, and I see sometimes people sending DMs. I want to be your social media manager. I want to be your community manager or a moderator or your graphics designer. But we already have these roles fit. So the way a project will even reply to you in the first place is if they actually need your service. That's one. Secondly, the way you craft your, cold reach out DM. Like you don't just send a DM with a generic, like I said, I see this a lot. I'll just see a generic template. You're sending, I want to be a community manager, I love your project, I love what you're doing, that kind of generic tweet or message. I will not even reply to it if I am managing a HR. I will not even reply to it in the first place. So the way you send your pitch also determines if it will be open and read and considered and then replied. Okay, so after two things, the first thing is ensuring that the project actually needs your service. Secondly, when you're sending a cold DM, right, a message to them for the very first time, it needs to be compelling enough, right, for whoever is going to see it to open it in the first place. Okay, so when you have gotten whoever you want to reach out to open the message, then from there, at least you have 50% figured out because they may want to ask for they may want to ask for your resume, your portfolio, and all of those things, and even schedule an interview with you. And when you ace all of this, you can get the job. Okay, so that's one. Another thing I would like to say is when reaching out to projects, do not reach out to the project DM. That's what I don't do this. I don't reach out to the project DM. Instead, I reach out to the founder or if I can get the CM or that's the marketing officer or the HR or something. I don't reach out to the project itself because most of these projects are handled by social media manager. Although sometimes the founder also have access to the Twitter account or whatever account, but you want to reach out to the founder itself. So you have to figure out who the founder is for any project you want to reach out to. It is an easy way to get jobs instead of reaching out to the project itself. So you may want to reach out to the founder on Twitter, Telegram, LinkedIn, anywhere you can get access to them. Okay, so doing all of this, there is still a whole lot involved. I mean, even how you draft your message, how your CV is, how you package your portfolio. I remember when I was starting out, my CV was whack, my portfolio was whack. Oh god. But then with time I had to like restructure it again and again to make it make sense. So that if somebody is looking at my resume, they are even wow, even without a job experience, there's a way you can tailor your CV to look nice. Okay, so I don't know, I cannot go in depth, but with this you can get started on client acquisition process.
All right, all right. That's quite. I think you've done a lot of justice to that question. So I'm going to do something. Yeah, I usually do. Bring up my whiteboard. Sorry, just a minute. So I can jot down. Take something away. It's loading. Sorry. This one's taking my time. So the loading did not work. So let's just continue. So is I have from here also another question that is Boyo. Said, how do you hunt for jobs?
Okay, how do I hunt for jobs?
Yes, how do you hunt for jobs?
If I say I don't really take time hunting for jobs, it's look as if I am lying, but that's the truth. I remember when I was starting out in the Web3 space, in my early days, I joined this job hunting class, blah blah blah, and the person teaching them was like, send 50 DMs every day, send 20 DMs every day. And I'm like, me, hey, I will never do it. You get because even if I send 50 DMs, I must get that.
Wait,
How many jobs do I
50
get?
DM or 20?
20, 50. I've heard 20, 50. Like, I'm telling you, and people used to talk about it that they used to send 20, 50 DMs in a day. And I'm like, how? You should not even say this. If you're sending 20 or 50 DMs, you should have so many jobs that it's even chasing you. Do you get? So,
Right.
first thing is to prioritize quality over quantity. That's just it. Quality over quantity. If you're sending a DM, know that that DM is powerful. That's sending 20 DMs that is going to not fetch you results. Okay, so if you're sending one DM, ensure that you remember what I said earlier. You want to research on the project, research on the founder, do your due diligence so that as you're sending the DM, there is an 80% chance that it will be responded to. Because sending DM is one thing, getting responded to is another thing. And I used to get most of these complaints from people. I've been sending DMs to projects, they don't used to open my chat. Even if they open it, they'll just tell me I'm not hiring, even if you get. So you want to ensure, like I said, that this project is or actually need your service. Okay, so how I want to jobs, like I said, I don't really spend so much time hunting for jobs. But if I want to hunt for a job right now, I use Twitter, I use Root Data. It's a website, rootdata.com. Yeah, I hope I'm correct. Then I use LinkedIn. Yes, I use LinkedIn too. Most of my jobs came from Twitter. Yes, most of my jobs came from Twitter. There's a way I use Twitter to search for jobs. I can't really show it. I can't really explain it with words rather than showing it. So I can't using keywords, hashtags, and all of those. Then LinkedIn, same thing. Then rootdata.com. Rootdata is a fundraising analytic platform. It shows you how much a project has raised for seed round and stuff. So why I use rootdata.com, the funding of a project, it shows me new projects, right? That most people don't even know about. So that it shows old projects you get. So me going through bits data, I can even get access to the team's details, that the founder, the COO, whatever. I can get their details, their social, their LinkedIn, and reach out to them directly, like I said earlier. So that's why I use bits data. And
was the platform for free? Like, is it for free?
It's free, yes.
Wow.
It's a website. Just search for rootsdata.com and you should see it's a fundraising crypto platform.
Okay.
Yeah, you can just explore it, play around it, and you see roots data.
Okay.
Okay, so let me just run it down. So say for instance, I go to rootsdata.com, I see a project called Toria. Okay, so I see a project called Toria that I like. I read about the tech, the maybe the category, if it is real estate, blah blah blah. Then I click on it, and I'm seeing the socials. They have a Twitter account, so I click on the Twitter account and I go to their Twitter, I go through the Twitter, go through their website, there and then I'm deciding if they actually need my service, and I'm also penning down how I can, provide solution to whatever problem they have at that point in time. Okay, so after that, I go back to the data, I check if there's any detail of their founder there. If there is, good for me. I go on Twitter, I follow him, I engage on his post for 1, 2, 3 days. Then after that, I send him a DM pitching my offer to him. Now, most times they won't reply, like I said, right? But the way you tailor your offer, okay, I really don't want to spend so much time this because there is so much detail in how you tailor your offer. You want to use numbers. You want to show proof, even while speaking. Okay, something like I think, let's say this project now needs more website visitors. So, and you have proof that you have driving website visitors before for a project. So when you're entering the DM with an offer, you want to add something like, I was able to bring in or increase the website visitors of so project by 40% in 30 days. And I think, no, I think, don't ever use that thing. And I am confident that I can, or this is what your project requires right now for blah, blah, blah. Just speak English, but then add stats, statistics, add data. Even if you don't have proof of work, right, you can estimate what you actually can do. Do not exaggerate. Because if they not give you the work and you cannot deliver, you are for your hand. So that is literally how I want to jump for. I don't know if this is enough details because there is a whole lot, right? But this should be like the long and short of it.
Yeah. There's actually a whole lot. There's actually a whole lot. I wanted to bring out a whiteboard and write some things, but there's actually a whole lot. So I believe because I don't know about, I know people. I really hope that people listening who would watch this, get one or two things in terms of going about, in terms of getting jobs in Web3, and then I'll also get good responses, like just like how most pastors pay for testimonies. I also get good testimonies from this podcast. So you said something about salary. I would like to ask this question: how to answer salary questions when asked? So you said something about offer, right? So then what is okay? What if you are asked, you're probably in an interview, and then you're asked what's your salary, and then, or you're writing a proposal, and then you have to state an offer. So how do you know what is not going to pursue your clients? Don't go and say something that's going to pursue your clients. So what's how do you go about it that's going to make your client know, okay, yes, this is something they can work with? Or, yeah.
Okay, I remember when starting out, whenever we reach this, so what is the salary expectation? I'll be scared. I'm like, hey, what do I want to say?
Right,
But how I overcome that? I had to ask questions. I mean, there are people that have been in this space before. So whenever I have a job, right, maybe an interview or something, I reach out to, I have a mentor in the Web3 space, yes. So I reach out to her and I'll be like, okay, how much can I charge for this job? Then she'll give me a range that she thinks is, because she has experience in this more than I do, right? So she'll give me a range, okay, charge from this to this. You don't give one salary expectation or offer. You also give a range. Try to gauge it. Okay, the lowest you can go and the highest you can go. They can choose to pick anywhere in between that range. I know I've made an offer for one. Let's say okay, I made an offer for my salary expectation. I put a range of so and so to so and so. The HR picked the highest one. There was a time also I made an offer from so and so to so and so. The HR picked the lowest one. Do you get? Say for instance, you are charging $1,000 to 2,500. The HR decided to pick the highest one, and sometimes they can pick the lowest one. Sometimes you guys can negotiate on a middle ground. You need to also know how to negotiate. Yes, that's another thing. So that's basically how I answer this. What is my salary expectation? But I don't give them a number or a figure. I give a range, and we can try to negotiate within that range. It must not go lower. That's just the thing.
All
So yeah.
Yeah, that answers the question. So for a portfolio now, you said one or two things about portfolio, but I'd just like to ask it as a question. How are portfolios arranged? How should I arrange my portfolio to look appealing? So when I'm sending out these offers, or I'm sending out, I go to root data and I'm trying to reach out to the founder, and then I send my portfolio. How should probably my CV or the portfolio look? Just to make sure that it's looking appealing and it's looking what are the things I need to capture in my CV and my portfolio. Yeah. Even as a newbie, as a newbie, most newbies don't have experience like that, and that much. So, what are the things they need to, capture? Should they be putting probably threads, everything, or what are the things? Especially for newbies, yeah.
Okay. I'm somebody that, like I said, I started writing in 2020. So I already had experience for in Web2 space. So I had something to add to my CV and I had something to add to my portfolio to some extent. Although I remember the first interview I did, and I was, talking about how I had experience in Web2. Then they asked me for a Web3 portfolio because all they were asking was Web2, and I couldn't provide one. And the lady or the project manager, right, told me, I'm sorry, we cannot employ you because you don't have any proof of work in the Web3 space, blah, blah, blah. That thing made me sad. Like, I had to ask her, because me, I can ask questions. You cannot, I mean, there's nothing you can do about it. If you reject me for a job, I'll ask you, why did I not get the job, right? What gave me up? So I asked her, okay, why is it that you told me that I'm actually good, but you cannot employ me? She told me it's because I don't have a Web3 portfolio. So that got me really angry. Look for how I can, get a portfolio without any experience at all. And I took this course on Udemy. So it's a paid course. It taught me certain things, right? Which I implemented. I even tried on it for a certain time and it blew up. Now, what did I do or what did I learn from that course? I learned that you can create is it fake? Yes. Let me call it fake project, right? So for instance, you are looking for a marketing goal. You can create a project, a fake project. It's not existing. You can just call it whatever name you want to call it, okay? And start creating content, start creating campaigns, strategies for that project. This is just to help you get proof of work. If you're a designer, same thing. You can come up with a fake project, try to create designs for each different type of design, different samples, infographics, memes, for that project, so that you would have it. Proof of work is just showing that you can do what you say you can do. Do you understand? And that's what proof of work is, showing what you say you can do, showing it so that I can see it. So you can do that for a writer. It's even easier. Just think of a project, and start creating content from it, different type articles, thread, long form. Just create it and put it, in a folder so that whenever you are okay. So that's how you can get proof of work if you don't have any job experience at all as a newbie.
Okay.
You don't want to just send random, you don't want to send random links out. You want to add everything. Most times, I mean, there are free portfolio websites. I can't remember most of the names right now, but there are 3 portfolio websites you can explore. You can just, create a one-page portfolio, a one-page website, impute your proof of work there, so that you have just a single link to send out to, whoever is asking for your proof of work. I don't know if that answers your question.
Yes, that actually does answer the question. Just to put it out there for newbies watching there, I also would like to add one of the things. You can start with writing some, all this going on super team to find bounties and then write. That's actually a great way also to um, to build your portfolio. Your Twitter account, treat your Twitter account as a portfolio, and then write threads for join contents, join bounties, write, show that okay, yes, you have the skill of writing graphics and video, different things, so that you can do. But super team, very easy the community you can start out with. So Toria, I would like to know, I can only imagine how the level of focus you're going to be needing to run work, and you're also your agency which you're running. So how do you recharge and stay focused? How, what are the things you do? Do you probably I'll be, I don't know how, because I know most people that they have quite a number of or 3 jobs, and them recharging and them getting back on their feet. You'll be like, how are these guys like doing this? How is this guy always focused back to back? So what would you say is your own strategy of recharging and then something that keeps you focused?
Okay. All right. Recharging. What I do, I there are certain activities I listed out that helps me every single minute. So most times I have no phone hours, right? Where I am not even going to do anything work related. Okay, I can literally maybe watch a movie, read a book, right? During those periods. Then going to the gym is also one way I recharge. For that moment, you are not thinking of anything work. And then going out, right? So most times I take myself on solo dates. Most times I go out with friends, visit friends too, and all of those things. That's also one way I right now. So I just go out, trying to get gift for myself, make myself feel good. And also something I started doing recently was going swimming. I'll just, go and swim for some hours, then come back home, and I feel like everything has been washed away. So that's literally what I do. I don't really have much of a social life. So, okay, most times I attend events, yeah. I speak in one of nothing much, yeah.
All right, that's that's great. Um, for we are rounding up already. Just 2 more questions I'd like to to just ask. So second to the last question, what we've said a lot, right? But someone starting out, someone looking to start out this 2025 with 3 jobs, and then they're looking at starting as a marketer. They have marketing skills, and they're looking to break into Web3, start earning. What advice would you give to that individual, that person?
Okay, so I have this I wouldn't say mentee because officially he's not my mentee. So I have this person that um he told me things last year. I can't remember exactly when. That he also starts with 3 jobs, but he keeps coming back with, oh, I'm still learning. Oh, I'm still learning. I want to add it. And I'm like, there was a time I got pissed. I was like, I sent him a voice note. I was like, wait, I don't understand. You have been learning since. What have you been learning? Don't be doing your learning. You compile things and you don't take action. Okay. So what I would tell anybody that wants to go into the space, starting out, maybe with no skills at all. Once you start learning, the moment you start learning, that's very day you start learning, post about it. Okay, I just started my writing career in Web3 space. This is what I've learned so far today. Post it, right? Then if it is for whatever skill you're like, just keep posting it, even as you are learning. Then practice. Whatever you learn, just immediately practice. Because if you don't practice, you might as well not learn anything. Because most people they are good with stacking. They keep learning and stacking knowledge, and it will just be just sitting doing nothing. So whatever you have learned from this podcast in general, go and start implementing it. People get dopamine rush from just hearing new ideas. And after they just click the exit button, they have forgotten everything. So what I'll tell you first of all is to implement like crazy. Because the Web3 space is a fast-moving space. If you have not noticed, if you just drop, they will leave you behind. So you need to ensure that you keep consistently show up. This consistently show up. It's not just by coming out to say GM on X. It's by actually doing the thing that will give you results, which is maybe looking for jobs, adding to your portfolio, writing threads, actively looking for jobs, actively connecting, networking with people in the Web3 space. Because one thing that also helped me in my journey and is still helping me is networking. The connection I've made so far is also something that has been helping me. Okay, so that's it actually.
All right, great, great, great. Thank you for that advice. And um, last, lastly, I'm looking forward to asking all my guests on the show this question. So it's what's what is next for Toria? What is next for Toria X? What are you like looking forward to? What should we be expecting from your agency, from you? What's the next big news? Because you usually take all of us by surprise. You just come back, drop one big news, and we're like, hey, what's in the help? So what is next? What are you looking for?
Okay, I'm more of a doer than just speaker. If you could put it that way. So what is next? We see it when it happens. That's what I can say. But definitely, what I'm trying to do right now is just to keep advancing in my career. So think of anything that can make one advance in their career. That's what I'm going to do next. Yes.
All right, great, great. You're advancing your career. So, Toria, thank you very much for coming on this episode. I would really like to thank you very much. And then to viewers listening, watching, like you said, don't just watch. Try to implement. Implementing is key to doing anything to getting to making sure you're moving. You're always making sure you're moving forward. One post every day, you are moving. You might not see it as anything, but you are actually moving, because when someone asks for your portfolio and then you send it to them, be like, oh wow, you did this, you did that, you did this. So you have to actually implement, do things, and make sure that you are actually moving. So thank you very much once again, Toria. To everybody that's watched up to this extent, thank you for listening. Make sure you like, share, and also subscribe. And like I said, I'll be bringing guests to answer various questions. If you're still confused about anything, you can just leave a comment in the comment section below. And then I'm going to try my best to get across the story and then answer your questions. And I mentioned something about support team. I'm also a member there. You can also I'll leave links to Superman and the rest, which you can start out your Web3 journey and start writing, applying for bounties and different jobs they have on Superman. So once again, Toria, thank you very much for coming on the podcast, and to view, I'll see you in the next episode. Yeah, bye. Stay focused.
Thank you for having me. Bye.
Bye bye.